Hello and welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and can you believe it? Microsoft actually fixed totals in Power BI, as first reported by that I saw from Warren Dean yesterday. Um, so they actually did. It's in the March 2026 update. So I'm going to cover how it works and show off how it works. We're also going to cover a little bit more about the rest of the March 2026 update, which isn't a lot. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to celebrate. All right. So got my little party hat here and put that on, and then yay, they're fixed finally. It's still in preview, but that's all right. All right, so and I'm going to tell you, this. It seems like it's like the most significant update in Power BI like almost ever. I mean, my feed has been blowing up over this feature. I mean, maybe that's just because I might have mentioned this issue once or twice, I suppose, right? But yeah, so they actually fixed totals where you can actually take a non-additive or semi-additive measure and make it additive for the total, which has been a request for, I mean, for a long, long time. The ideas site, I think that was it was probably like 8 years ago that it was put up on the ideas site, right? I mean, very early in the Power BI, and it's one of the like I think top 20 unresolved issues. It has the most votes to put it in the top 20, right? As far as other people that wanted this feature, so it's been a long, long time coming. A lot of people have wanted it. So we're gonna get into how it works or whatever. And it just, I really didn't think that it was gonna happen. There was a part of me that really didn't think it was gonna happen because as little as like 6 months ago, right, there seemed to be this campaign that was out there by multiple people, a lot of them that personally attacked me personally over this issue, that said it wasn't needed and it worked just fine, and this feature was not needed. And in the official position from Microsoft that I saw, a product manager there officially said that adding this feature would cause a ton of confusion and people are too stupid to be able to use it. They're smart enough to write DAX, but they're too stupid to use this feature, appropriately. I mean, at that point, when you have official Microsoft product managers like saying that it'd be a bad addition to the product, I mean, what really hope did I have that this was really going to be put into the product? Well, I guess that product manager is gone now. So maybe that's why this is finally being released. I mean, I don't know if that product manager was holding this feature hostage or something. I have no idea, but it's fixed now. So let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll show you how it works. We bring up Power BI Desktop here. All right, so it's just a simple data model. I mean, literally, there's nothing to it, right? 1, 2, 3. I've got some numbers in there. I got a measure. My measure is my classic -3 measure, right? Just because it shows the problem. So sum column 2 -3. And as you can see here, the sum of the column, it's 10, 30, 20, 60 adds up to 60. The measure is 7, 27, 17, but the total is 57, so that's clearly wrong. We want it to sum the rows. We want it to be 51 is what the answer that we need. So in order to get this to work, you have to be on the March version of this. So as you can see here, I'm on the March 2026 version, and you have to have visual calculations enabled right there, visual calculations, because this relies on visual calculations, which in some respects, I think this is the saving grace for visual calculations. I'll get to that in a minute. Otherwise, I think visual calculations are sort of stupid, and I'll get into why. But if you want to see how this works, basically what you have to do is you have to right-click. Well, right-click the total. You have to right-click on. So if you click on this table visualization, you don't get it. You have to, from what I can see, you have to click within the table itself, which I don't know why that's the case in terms of, because like if you click outside, you can do a new visual calculation, but you have to click inside. So customize total calculation preview. So I think it's because, you have to be in this column so that, this would create a visual calculation for this column. This would create a visual calculation for this column. So I guess that makes kind of sense, but it might be a little hard for people to find. You have to click on the column, somewhere in this column, in order to get this option. So now you can see customize total calculation, sum, min, max, count, all that sort of stuff, and then sum. And now that changes. Now what really happened here is you can see this little FX icon. It created a visual calculation for this and more or less replaced what was there. So you can see that if I go into edit calculation, you can see what it did. So it still has my measure, my original measure. It just kind of renamed it for the visual as measure underscore base. And then the visual calculation does an expand all, sum, measure base, rows, columns, right? And so that's what fixes it. So pretty slick. I'll give them credit for that. It made it. And again, I think this, in my opinion, this redeems visual calculations because here, I'll give you my opinion on visual calculations. Visual calculations to me were always kind of stupid, okay? Because you still were forced to write DAX, right? And the DAX you had to write really wasn't that much easier. I don't think you had to learn a whole new way of writing your DAX with all new functions. I don't really think it was all that easier for anybody to learn how to write visual calculations versus measures, right? And if I'm going to have to write measures anyway, because my data model is always going to have measures. I'm going to want some kind of dynamic calculation, right? And I want to be able to reuse that across multiple visuals. I don't want to have to recreate the same DAX in 13 different visuals, right? That's stupid. So I'm going to use measures in my data models, right? And so visual calculations to me just seem like why would I use that feature, right? I still have to go in and write DAX. I have to do it in a completely different place than I would normally write DAX. It only works for that one single visual. So to me, I was never even. I'm not going to use a preview. I'm not going to use a preview feature anyway, right? When visual calculations are still in preview, and so they never made any sense to me. Like, why would I do this? Because I'm all about maintainability and governance and that sort of stuff in solutions to make them maintainable, and so that you can pick them up 3 years later and be like, okay, I understand what's going on here, right? Visual calculation to me, like, that was a terrible thing because you're going to have your DAX spread out all over the place, right? In addition to your measures, you're going to have these visual calculation things, which there aren't really. I don't even know if there are any tools like info functions or whatever. Like, I know there's a new one for UDFs to be able to get all the UDFs, but I don't even know if there's any kind of info function that'll tell you about the visual calculations that we have, that you have in your data model, because they're not in the data model. They're actually in the report layer. They're in the visual layer, right? So they always seem kind of a bad governance kind of thing to me. But I'm not going to complain because they ended up eventually being the solution for the measure totals problem, right? And so I'm not going to complain about it. And they did a slick job. It's maybe a little bit hard for people to find that you have to click on the actual column within the table visual to do this. And maybe it's a little weird that it shows up as a right click option when there's really not that many things that really show up under this menu, as you can see. But that's where they just chose to put visual calculations. So I guess that makes sense that they, created this feature there as well. So that's how it works. It's pretty slick. Like I said, it's a long time coming, but we're not going to complain. They got it done, and they did it in a pretty slick way, and it works pretty well. So kudos to Microsoft. How many times have I ever said that? But kudos to Microsoft. They did a good job. I always said if Microsoft does a good job, I'll give them credit. So now let's go ahead and we'll switch gears to the March 2026 feature summary. So not a lot in here. They're deprecating the old file picker experience. I'm not super excited about that because the new one is I know they say it's better, but it's not. It's slower, and I'm not a fan, but oh well, what are you going to do about it? It's kind of weird, though, that it's in the March update because they're not going to actually deprecate it until the April update. So I guess this is fair warning, I guess you could say. Copilot stuff, who cares? AI narrative auto refresh, okay, who cares? Translytical task flows, the worst named feature ever, is generally available. So they got something in the GA. Modern visual defaults and customizing theme improvements. I really haven't looked at this too much. The preview introduces an updated base theme along with Fluent 2. I'll be honest, I didn't really notice much of a difference, but I guess the new theme is better, I guess. Okay. I didn't really notice. It must be pretty subtle. Custom totals preview, there it is, right? Series label leader lines for line charts. So that's really cool. This I've seen, I think I where I saw this like was in Nick Deborah's some of his visuals and stuff like that. I think this is the first time that I saw this kind of stuff going on, which to make things a little bit better versus having your, which I don't know why you have a legend if you have this, but sure. Um, odd visual choice there, Microsoft. Report theme updates. You now define default page size directly in your theme file, so that's kind of cool. This is going to be after all the three theme generators are going to have to update all their stuff now because they released some new theme stuff. All right, let's see here. Input slicer now supports conditional formatting. Okay. And then, Direct Lake and One Lake, GA, TMDL view, web modeling preview. This DAX user defined function, this is what I was talking about, the new info user defined functions to at least be able to spit back like, here's all the user defined functions in the model, right? So, and they're syncing, like when you rename tables and columns, they're bringing that to UDFs. I think that was a big hole in UDFs. So good to see that that is being fixed. Other than that, I mean, there's not a lot. I don't think. It's still a preview. I I have other opinions on UDFs, right? I don't think a lot of people are going to use them to begin with. I think that overcomplicates things, but we'll see where it goes. But yeah, that's the rest of your data connectivity and visualizations, right? I mean, the only thing that really matters, right, is the custom totals. I mean, that's obviously the standout feature here. So it's the March 2020, and that's the month of my birthday. So a nice belated, a little bit belated birthday present, getting totals fixed here on now that I'm getting old. I'm not gonna tell you how old, but getting older. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. The and again, it's just my feed has been blowing up. Everybody's been going crazy about this. And I am kind of interested again, going back 6 months ago to the people that personally attacked me, right? Are they going to apologize, right? In terms of that, oh, you don't need this feature and it's this feature is stupid and all that. But if every product that is in this space has had this issue, right? And has a fix for this issue, except for Power BI, right? Tableau, Qlik, you name it, they all have a fix for this. People think, I think people like mistakenly think that like Microsoft invented this space. No, this space was invented long before Microsoft ever, even dreamed of Power BI, right? Tableau and Qlik and other products like that were the pioneers in this space. They encountered this kind of issue with semi-additive, non-additive totals and that sort of thing, and they fixed it, right? I mean, Microsoft had a freaking blueprint. Like before they ever started coding Power BI, they had an absolute blueprint on how to do this correctly, right? And they failed to do it for over a decade, which is mind-boggling to me. But I, I'm not gonna, again, nits, right? It's fixed. We should all celebrate. That's all I have to do. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.